All right, we're back. Day 3 of the Descript appreciation series on my hashtag tweet100 adventure. Number 3, it's right here in my simple note. Editing with text / scanning for the obvious changes. So let me see if I can find a good working example of what I mean by that. So if I go to Matt Report Podcast and we will go into, let's say, this Derek Gleason one. Now, these have already been edited, so they might not be the best example, but Descript, you're editing audio through text. If that wasn't obvious with Descript, that's one of the largest attractions to the piece of software. Instead of me worrying about, let's stretch this out, all of these waveforms down at the bottom and trying to find those moments in time where I'm saying certain words that I want removed, I can literally see the word information spans across this entire waveform. So while I still enjoy other audio editing tools like Hindenburg, this was a game changer in terms of speed, efficiency, some other features we'll talk about in the future. But editing audio through words was really, really great. One of the things that is really, really great about it, aside from the first 2 things I've talked about on day 1 and 2, is what I like to do, as I said here in my notes, I got to remind myself, scanning for the obvious changes. That's what I like to call it. Scanning for the obvious changes. Oftentimes, we all have these tics when we're recording podcasts, especially where you're having a conversation with somebody, you might not know them really well, and you sort of say like, yeah, that's a great thought. Oh, we never really thought about that. Or you say, wow, that's a really great way of thinking about things. That's just useless banter to the listener. And if you do it a lot, I happen to do it a lot. Somebody goes on a nice prolific answer to a question that I ask them. What I can do is I can scan really quick. Like this section right here is one section I should have cleaned up. So I asked Derek a question. This is all Derek talking. You can see if I hover over it, his name shows up on the left. And then I start my response and I say, yeah, here's what I say. I say, and I bring this up because I just mentioned at the top of the show, your transition jobs, blah, blah, blah. You're now making the transition. You haven't even started yet. I've said a lot of filler. Up at this point, I've said a lot of filler stuff until I actually get to the start of the question where it says, but I'm curious on how you leapfrog these environments. I could literally find this and delete it. And often what I'll do is when I'm editing a podcast is I will go find those obvious moments as I wrote down in my notes and just delete those. I won't even listen to it. I already know. Guys say, yeah, that's great. What an amazing response. Oh, but gee, I never really thought about that way. I just visually find those, boom, cut them out, boom, cut them out. And that's like my prep work. Like if you're chopping up onions, you're making your dinner, chopping up your onions, you're doing your carrots, I just get all this stuff out of the way, and now I'm ready to cook. And that's what I do with Descript, and that's reason number 3. Editing with text, scanning for the obvious. I'm just reading my notes here on my phone. That's the reason number 3. Hope you enjoy that. MattReport.com, MattReport.com/subscribe. Join the mailing list. If you like what I do with WordPress news and other WordPress stuff, you want to support me, buymeacoffee.com/MattReport. That's day 3 of my Tweet 100 appreciation for Descript. I'll see you in the next video.